In this episode, we discuss, what do I say to someone who is not ready to grow? What about when patients only want to see you in your clinic? How to make decisions without being reckless? What is one piece of advice to someone who is not ready to go? And why do good clinicians struggle to sell? All right, we're back. Welcome to another episode. Hannah, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. That felt recorded and scripted. Your response, did you put that into ChatGPT? She ChatGPT'd her response for that one. Yeah, I'm good. My bot told me to say I'm good. Anyway, go ahead. The questions, you have good ones today? If they're boring, we're going to quit. Go ahead.
All right.
Why do so many clinicians struggle to sell confidently?
This past year, we ran what we called a sales boot camp internally here within our Rehab Chiro community. I think at this point, almost over half our community has taken that course in addition to our normal teachings and trainings. And it's crazy because we teach so many tactics and like blueprints and handling and how to do this and how to do objection handling and obstacles. And we do all this crazy stuff. But at the end of it, the feedback we get, the most impactful part is never about the actual tactics. The biggest impact we have is often the intro that I do. And the intro that I do speaks about a concept called identity versus role. And where I got that from was actually a sales training system called the Sandler Sales System, where I learned from them that the biggest reason why people struggle to communicate and to sell is because oftentimes their identity is quite low, in that they really don't feel worth it. And so what often happens in their business is that them deep down not feeling worth it, having a successful business, making money, someone actually paying that fee, doing whatever that looks like for them, because they don't feel that, it comes across in how they speak about maybe money or insurance or not taking insurance, or they say, I don't know if I can help you, or I'm in a small town. They say 1,000 different things. It plays out in 1,000 different ways. But the root cause of the problem is they don't really identify as a person who is worth it, worth the money or worth the label or worth it that someone would give them a chance to help. And so confidence, really, if you think about it at a very basic level, confidence comes from proof. But here's the thing. Think about this, right? Confidence comes from proof. So you may say, Justin, but I'm a new clinician. How would I have proof? Well, we deal with clinicians who are brand new in practice who sell tremendously well. They don't have proof. They have a belief internally about themselves. Their identity is high, so they don't need that proof. And then at the other end, I have clinicians that are in business for 20 years who I've been charging $70, $100 an hour and just can't figure out how to raise price because of their town. It's not their town. It's because they don't feel worth it. It isn't about experience. It isn't about confidence. It's about your identity and how you see yourself. Because if you don't have a high view of yourself and don't feel like you are worth it, you're never going to be able to communicate confidently. Your business is going to struggle and you're always going to blame the external in your life.
I'm opening my clinic in 30 days. What is the one piece of advice you'd tell someone who's not ready?
I want to show you something. This is coming out video and audio, yes?
Yeah.
Okay, Stefan, I want you to look. This morning, 4:15 a.m., my keynote, this is going to come out after the live event, but we are recording this in January, whatever, before the live event. This is the first slide of the live event weekend. My keynote is all about ready. Because most people think that ready is a timeline. It's on the calendar. It is someone will tell them they will get a degree or piece of paper or walk across a stage. But ready is a decision. And ready is actually willing. Ready is a commitment. And so you're never going to feel ready because ready is not a feeling. The thing that people feel, I'm 30 days from opening my first clinic or opening a clinic for the first time or opening my business. They think that in 30 days they're going to feel ready, but here's the crazy part. They're going to open their clinic and they're going to be fine. And then a year from now, they're going to come to my world and I'm say, all right, you're ready to raise your price. Like, I'm not ready. No, you weren't ready the first time you did it. And then a year from there, we're like, we have to hire your first employer, hire your first associate. And they say, I'm not ready. Well, ready is not a feeling. Ready is a decision. We decided to open our clinic, we opened it. We decided to raise price, we did it. We decided to hire, we did it. And so ready is being willing. Ready is not a feeling, it is a decision. It is being willing to go and do. So you won't be ready, you never be ready, and stop waiting for yourself to be ready because you never will be.
How do you make decisions faster without making reckless ones?
I heard this today, actually. I was listening to a podcast about decision making, and the thing that Sean Perry from My First Million talked about, which is fascinating. One thing that we all preach in our life is that if you're not good at something, it isn't because you're not good at it, it's because you haven't done it and you haven't studied it. And one of the things he talks about is like he documents decisions and how he makes decisions, and when he made them, he goes back and reviews them on how it went, how it turned out. And it just got me thinking of decision making as just another skill. The problem that most people have is they go through life never deciding and not reviewing, never working on the skill, never understanding what the decision was and how it was made and how it actually turned out. And the reality with that is many people in our world as doctors and chiropractors are quite smart and they want a lot of facts. The problem is they never actually lay out the facts. They just deal from their emotion, which is why you always hear me say, don't trust your gut. That's ridiculous. Don't trust your gut because you have a lot more experience than that. The other sort of framework that I love about with decision making is the James Clear framework of the hat, haircut, or tattoo. By the way, I know this is just me. I gotta say something. Do you have tattoos, Stefan? No. Yeah. I mean, people, 50% of the American, I think world population get divorced, right? How many people start college and never finish it? How many people go to college, spend hundreds of thousands of dollars a degree and don't even pursue that career? And then you're going to tell me at 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 45, it's a good idea to get permanent ink on your body. Hat, haircut, tattoo. You want to get an ugly hat? Fine. Great. Do it. You want to get a bad haircut? Great, it grows back. But the tattoo thing, I can't for the life of me figure out. You can't even decide who you're going to marry, for God's sakes. You're going to get a tattoo when you're 18 of pigs flying on your thigh? Is that what we're talking about right now? It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Anyway, the idea, hat, haircut, tattoo, the problem that most people have is that they look at the decision. If you look at the framework of a decision, it's all right, I'm going to make this decision. What's the worst that happens? So we deal with this a lot in my world, and I'm just going to talk about it because it happens. People come into my world, and it's $6,000 to take a course, right? Not cheap, especially when you're starting. And it's people are so scared of starting. And I understand, and I have empathy because I've been there. But I also didn't understand decision making. At the end of the day, what is the upside of making that decision? The upside is that it could legitimately change the course of your life and your business. What is the downside of that decision? Is that you lose $6,000. Now, again, all of us, I'm good with money. I'm still stupid. I've done way dumber things for $6,000. Way dumber things. All of us have. And the thing with money is you could go drive Uber for how many months, work at a bar, and make your $6,000 back. The worst case scenario is it doesn't work. It's unbelievable when you think about the upside is literally exponential. My life changed when I did. The reason why I do this is because my life changed when I did it. Multiple 7, 8 figures of money that's come because I made one decision. That is the potential upside. But when you look at the framework of taking a course or doing what we do or doing a plan of care as a patient, for most people in our world, again, I'm not talking about people that are impoverished, we're not talking about that. I understand and I have empathy for that. We're talking about normal people that are functioning in society, that people that we most likely would be our patients. They might not all be rich, but $5-6 to them, they could make it back. And quite frankly, if you're treating a patient and the difference is them feeding their kids and you treating them, they shouldn't be your patient. If someone's coming into my world and they're literally going to be under a bridge if they take my course, they shouldn't do it in the first place. The idea of making most decisions in our lives is that they are usually a hat. And a hat means you can put it on and you can try it on, you can walk around. And you can look like an asshole. But you know what? I could take it off. That's how most decisions in our life are. Now, a haircut, you get a bad haircut. Hannah, you know about that, right? Bad haircuts? No?
Yeah, I do.
Bad haircuts. It takes a little while. Don't get me wrong. Like it hurts. Like I don't like this. Gotta wear a hat, whatever. Get nicked up on the side. Like you don't want to do that, but it grows back. The decisions that we should be concerned with, the tattoos, a literal tattoo or a figurative tattoo, those are the ones we should be most concerned with. But the crazy part about this one is where I always like lose my shit in our community is that people, and you've seen this, people will like, their butthole will literally pucker if you're like, yes, $20 a day on Instagram. It's like $300, $400 in a month, right? Like, and then the next week, the same person will be like, Justin, I have to move out of my space. I'm thinking about spending $8,000 on a lease for 3 years and it's personally guaranteed. Like, what? That is something that can end you. That is a tattoo. But do you see how going back to where we started, like the skill of being able to have a framework around making decisions on like, what's the upside of this? Yes, spending $8,000 on rent, there is an upside, but there's a tremendous downside. But that example is one that happens all the time that people just don't calculate. Like you could spend $300, $400 on running ads and nothing could happen. $300, $400 goes away. That's real. And it does happen. You could get a patient, you get multiple patients, you could make a huge ROI, or you could think about like, this is the only way that I can grow my business. Like all of that is a positive. Yes, there's a downside, but the downside is this. But then we go to like the space 3 or the 5-year lease at like multiple hundreds of thousands of dollars you're on the hook for that you have personally guaranteed. And that becomes like, I'm just going to go do that. It's like, what? What are we doing? So I don't even know what the question was, but it comes back to, if we want to be good at something in life, the decision-making frameworks that we think about, it is a skill. And my philosophy on doing anything, whether it's business or being healthy or learning golf, it doesn't matter what the thing is. If I want to be good at it, I have to immerse myself in it and do it. How was that answer?
It's fun.
Fun. Not good, fun.
What were you talking about?
See, so this is amazing. We were at the gym yesterday. I can't do it. Women, man. It's Stefan. The gym yesterday. They were talking. There was the women there guessing age. Oh, how old are you? I'm whatever. And they're like, they start going to weight.
Oh my God, that's a terrible idea.
They're like, so like, oh, like I'm like, oh, guess my weight. They're like, one, whatever. I'm like, yeah, that's right. And they're like, guess my weight. I'm like, I'm not doing it. Guess my no, just do it. No. Just guess my weight. I'm not doing it. No, come on, just guess my weight. They're like, all right, like 135. Like 124. Like, what the? Like, I can't. What am I doing?
Wait, a woman asked you to guess.
Yes.
That's fucking terrible.
Yes. And I said no 3 times. And then I did. Okay. Anyway, next.
I just hired an associate, but patients want to see me. What should I do?
Do you want the politically correct answer? So you want the real answer?
Yeah.
The real answer is what should you do is you should drop your fucking ego. There's no world, guys, I'm sorry. And this is where like people, I think they either hate me or they really hate me, or they hate me and they really hate me or really hate me. I'm sorry. There is no one that is watching this or listening to this that is that good. Like it is an impossibility. You just categorically cannot be that good. That where you live in your part of the country or North America or the world, that you are that good that people only want to see you. These are the same people that say, no one wants to work. Well, we're recording this right now and we're all working. Someone wants to work. We're in my house right now. I have a nanny upstairs taking care of my son. Guess what? She wants to work. No one wants to work. Everyone just wants to see you. You know what that, like, and now to be serious though, you know what that mindset gets us to? 65 years old, tired as shit, body hurts, did okay in business, never could take a vacation, never could step away, never had anything because it was an ego play. I could give you the tactics on what to say and how to say it. Like, that's easy. I'll give you the script. Like, it's not that difficult. The problem is we just believe that we're the only one that they want to see. No, they told me that. I know. They told me that too. I'm here, the practice is running itself. There's no one that's good enough, but that is because we're just scared. We're just scared and we're afraid that we might bring someone on and maybe they're better than us. Maybe we have patients that the worst thing in the world for most people, here's a real answer. Most people want to bring on an associate to get freedom and they want that. But actually, the real problem is that the pain, here's just deep, the pain of bringing on an associate and no longer being needed and no longer being the guy or the girl is significantly greater than the pain of just keeping it the same, the pain of never taking a vacation, the pain of not making the money you want to make. That's the real answer. Because when we lie awake at night, it's like, I'm not worthy, I'm not good enough. And if I bring someone in and what happens if they're better than me? Well, the answer is it's the best day of your life. That's the right answer. It's the best day of your life. But for most people, they can't get over that piece of it, that someone actually could do their job as good, if not better than they could.
What obstacles do you hear that tell you that a business owner isn't ready to grow?
Yeah, I don't even think it's an obstacle. And I hope the person, I'm not going to say his name, but I hope the person that I'm talking about right now, and it was a really good conversation and a respectful conversation. And it isn't even about growth, because like I think it comes across as like a negative, like you don't want to grow. For me, I had a conversation in DMs of someone that was just graduating chiro school, and we had a really nice conversation, and he was going to do his practice, and he was also going to be teaching in a school, and like kind of like trying to do full-time both, but really it's part-time of each. And it wasn't about growth, it was about focus. It was going to be really hard. And the way I thought about that question, which by the end of it, I didn't try to, I gave him an option, like, obviously we could help him in our program, but I didn't push it at all, because I gave him an option because like he was doing multiple things at once, and it's going to be really hard. It's really, and again, and I mean this like respectfully, it was a good conversation. It's going to be really hard to grow a business when you're doing something else for 30, 40 hours a week. Like there's nothing. And again, we talked about that. That was the conversation I had in the DMs. Obviously, like there are, like when I first started this practice, when I first started Strive to Move, I was working on another practice. And for the first 6 months, it's just, what I had to do to make ends meet. But that couldn't be a long-term solution. The focus that was required, the time that was needed, the ability to sit and like think on avatar and all the stuff, right? You just don't have enough time or focus or energy. And again, I don't even think it's the question of like, it's not right. It's not that they're ready to grow. It's that they're not focused on that specifically. It just doesn't make sense. It's hard. Like think about people that are like the best in the world at what they do. Go back to Tom Brady. He's talked about in his retirement how he was not a good husband and he's not a great parent. Why? Because his number one focus was football. That was his thing. And we don't have to be that. I'm not saying do that. But for a lot of us that are getting going in our business and our career, it's a lot closer to that than where we are with the work-life balance and the multiple jobs and different opportunities. And again, it isn't about growth, because there's 1,000 different ways to grow, but to grow a business, I mean, it just makes sense. If Justin in situation A is doing his business 100% of the time, and the same person with the same traits and characteristics is doing something else 50% of the time, 50% of the business, person A of Justin, same guy is going to win. It just makes sense. And so I think it's not about growth, it's about focus. It's where your attention is, because I think, again, with the growth thing, it's like, oh, you're not willing to grow. It's like, no, you might just not be focused on this right now. If you want to grow this, it's like, yeah, for a period of time, it can be part-time. To make ends meet, it can be a thing. And again, Hannah, we see this in our program. People come in and take Biz 101, and we think it's the right opportunity for everyone, no matter what stage, because it introduces them into like what is required. But we go down through a list of the last 12 people who came into our world, and to no fault of anyone, it was just like, yeah, this isn't their priority right now. Like they might be focused on something else. Their wife could be the bread winner or the bread maker. Their wife might be the one that makes the money, so they don't really need to focus on building the business. They might be a part-time job somewhere else. They might work at the joint, and they're not looking to leave that anytime soon. And we go down the list, it's like, all right, how many people are actually like doing this, and this is it? Very few, very few. So it's a focus thing. It's always a focus thing. That's the show. Thank you for tuning in. Like, share, subscribe, whatever it takes. Let's get it to the masses. See you on the next one.